Welcome back. Now at 6, a CBS 4 investigation into working conditions at Miami International Airport prompts a congressional hearing in Washington. Today, House members hear firsthand accounts of how major airlines allow baggage handlers, cabin cleaners, and other ground workers to be mistreated.
The hearing covered a number of airports around the country, but time and again, the focus turned to the problems at MIA. CBS 4's Jim DeFede was the first to report on the issues last year and says today's hearing is the latest blow to the airport and one company in particular, Yulin America.
We have never ever held a hearing on this subject before, and it's long overdue.
Oregon Congressman Peter DeFazio, chairman of the House Transportation Committee, arguing how the major airlines were cutting corners at the expense of their workers.
This is becoming a pattern before this committee, profits over people. The airlines made a collective $11.8 billion in profits in 2018. We're going to shine a light on this, and it's time for this abuse to stop. In an immensely profitable industry, they can do better, and they should do better.
Monday's hearing highlighted a problem first identified by CBS 4 in our series, MIA's Forgotten Workers, and the controversy surrounding one company in particular, Yulin America. Airlines around the country hire Miami-based Yulin to handle a variety of tasks. At MIA, American Airlines hires Yulin to clean the cabins between flights. Delta uses Yulin employees for loading and unloading baggage. By outsourcing the work to Yulin, the airlines are able to cut costs, but workers complain about unsafe working conditions at Yulin, including a lack of drinking water when working on the hot tarmac, cockroach-infested vehicles, vehicles without seatbelts, and a shortage of workers overall. Yulin was recently fined by OSHA for many of these problems.
It's a race to the bottom, and we're going to hear from folks in Miami where perhaps we have hit the bottom.
Among those who testified was Miami-Dade County Commissioner Eileen Higgins.
What kind of company does not provide drinking water to their workers?
She also told members of Congress about how Yulin officials tried to bully and intimidate her when she visited the airport to look into the workers' complaints.
If this company is willing to intimidate an elected official, I could only imagine what it was willing to do with its employees who needed these jobs, put food on the table and pay the rent.
Esteban Barrios, a Yulin worker from Miami, explained how employees are not afforded sick days, even when they're hurt from lifting hundreds of heavy bags.
So we just take painkillers and try to get through the day.
Republicans on the committee, including Pennsylvania Congressman Lloyd Smucker, complained that House Democrats did not invite Yulin to participate in the hearing.
My experience has been that employers, for the most part, really do care about their employees, about the safety of their employees. I don't know whether Yulin does or not, but certainly there's a judicial process in place. There are laws in place that ensure that bad actors are held accountable.
So now we did reach out to Yulin today to see if they had a reaction to today's hearing. We're waiting to hear back. As soon as we have it, we'll update our story.
Did we learn anything new in today's hearing, Jim?
Well, I think one of the things that I took away from today's hearing was, while a lot of the focus was on MIA, this really is a problem across the country. Some of it involves Yulin, some of it involves other companies as well. And one of the things that was discussed was also what can be done to try to correct this problem. And one of the things Eileen Higgins discussed was creating a new standard by which vendors are chosen. In other words, if you're going to get a permit to work at Miami National Airport, then you have to meet certain standards and actually have things in place so that you know whether or not you're a good company towards your employees. It can't just be about whether or not you can do the work. It's also got to be about how you treat those workers. We'll see if the Miami-Dade County Commission goes along, but make no mistake, this was a black mark for Miami. Miami was labeled as essentially the worst place to work for an airport in the country.
Good job on your part for bringing that out.
Thanks,
Jim.
for uncovering it. Thank you, Jim.